Alright, so here we are for part 2 on Noel. So again, this is guitar 3 and I'm looking at measure 12. So 12, you see these quarter notes. You see 4 quarter notes and then, sorry, not measure 12, 10, 11, 12, 13. Measure 13, you have quarter notes. You have 4 quarter notes. They have a line going through it, so that's a C. And then in 14, you have their below, and that, if you remember, it's the same note as the first note in measure 1, which is the A. So I'm going to go to my C, which is measure 13. I'm going to play it 4 times. 13 is right here on my 5th string, 6, 5. And I'm going to put my 3rd finger on the 3rd fret. I'm going to play it 4 times. Okay, so 4 times again. Again, 5th string, 3rd fret. Okay, so I'm going to do it 4 times. And then going to measure 14, you have the 5th string, A, 4 times as well. So you have, starting on the C, going to my A 4 times. So they're all on the same string. You just have to keep your finger on the 3rd fret, and then you lift it. Pretty easy. Then you go to measure 15, which are low Fs, and to do those low Fs, they're going to be on over here. If you remember from measure 9, it's that low F right there, and you're going to hit that for 4 times. So this section, measure 13 to 15, 16, 13 to 16, it's all, everything's in 4s, moves in 4s. So you have C 4 times, A 4 times, then you have F 4 times, and then measure 16, you move back to C. And that's all it is. So I'm going to do measure 13 to 16. Here's 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, here's A, here's F, back to C. So I'm staying on these 2 strings, the 5th string and the 6th string. So on the 13 again, here's C. Here's A, 15 F, so just think 13 and 14, those are all on the 5th string, 15 is on the 6th string, and then when you go back to 16, you're on the 5th string. So there's only one measure that you're on the 6th string. So here it is. Alright, then you get to measure 17. This is just like what happened earlier at measure 13. You have C's again. Then you go to A's. That's measure 18. Measure 19 is F's. And then you go to measure 20, which are just C's. So measure 13 to 16 is the same as 17 to 20. So it's just 4 measures, and then you repeat those 4 measures again. So I'm going to do 13 all the way to 20. And then it just starts again. And it's not that fast, but you get the idea. Just slow it down a little bit. Once you get to measure 21, you have a whole note. You hold that for 4 beats. Next measure, hold it for 4 beats. Next measure, you hold it for, it says a whole note plus a whole note because it has a tie. So a whole note plus a whole note is, you're going to hold it for 8 beats. The notes change here, but this is a new note looking at it. So it's a G. This is measure 21. That G is going to be the same thing like on your first string. You have E, F, G. It's going to be the same fret as this one, but on the 6th string. So there's your G right there. Hold that for 4. 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to go to measure 22, which is an open D, which you've had earlier. That's the 4th string. And then you're going to go back to the letter F, which I'm looking at is measure 23. And you hold that for 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay. So for 4 measures, you're doing whole notes. So it's like you did your quarter notes, and then you're out of that section and you're the whole notes. So here is 23, 22, 21, the G. Hold it for 4. 2, 3, open D, 4th string. Here's 2, 3. Here's F. Right here for 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and if I break that down, that G's on the 6th string, that D's on the 4th string, and then that F's on the 6th string. So your only 2 options to play are either on the 6th string, the 4th string, or the 6th string. G, 2, 3, 4th string D, 2, 3, F for 6th string. So if you think of it, it goes 6, 4, 6. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you slow it all down, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, pretty easy. Now we're going to put measure 13 to 24 all together. Remember, 13 through 20, they're all quarter notes. Once you get to 21, you have whole notes, so you hold those for 4 beats. So I'm going to play it at 13, starting on the C's. Remember, C's right here. You can hold all 3 fingers down if it helps you hold the strings, or you can just hold the one note that you need to hold down. 1, 2, ready, here's A, measure 15, low F, stay on the C again because it repeats. Now we're going to go to A, down to F, and here's your C's. Whole note section right here, hold it for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4th string D, 2, 3, F right here, and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty easy. Alright, so practice that, go along, play back with it, and after that measure from 24, you go back all the way to measure 1. Alright, so have fun. Alright, so we're looking at Noel starting at measure 8, 10, 11, 12, 12 on that beat 4, that G, E, G. So 10, 11, 12. I'm going to start on that. I'm going to play along with you guys and make sure that we're doing okay on it. So you hit it and you hold it. So here's 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Pineapple. 1, 2, repeats 3. 2, 3. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. So in class we were talking about that. Pretty easy, 2, 3. And you you saw that I start with the first finger on the G because it's easier. That way I can prep for the A. And then here's 15. And think on this next part, pineapple. Okay, so I'm going to start on 12 again. 1, 2, 3. I messed up. I'll try again. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. Now trip and pineapple. Okay. Now once you get to measure 16, beat 4 is the same as we did earlier. So you might keep the first finger on the G. So I'm going to start right on 16, waiting for beat 4. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to jump up here to 8, fret 8. And I want to use my pinky on here because then it's just going to go 4, 3, 1. So I'm going to start on 16 again. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Now 2, 3, 4. Then you have this te. So you have to be ready for that. It's on te of 4. So I'm going to start on measure 16 again. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. So you have another one of those at 19 like you had at 15. So you have two sections. You have measure 12 all the way to like the first of 16, and then you have 16 all the way to measure about 20. So think of it as two sections. I'll play it. First section, here's 12. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Second section here's 2, 3. Jump. 2, jump down. 4. Okay. When you get to measure 20, you jump down to the A. So here's 19 where you start on the A's, and then you jump down, and then you move down to the first portion of the guitar. I'm going to start on the A's. Measure 19. 1, 2, 3, 4. Triplet 1, 2. So you have a dotted rhythm right there. It's a dotted quarter note. I went 1, 2, but you guys know that we count 1.5 te, 3 te, 4 te. So just think 1.5. 19 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.5. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1. That's all it is. So I'll try 19 all the way to there. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.5. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Off, and then you go back to. Well, it says there's a tie, which doesn't make sense. Well, you hit it again, so it's 1, 2, 3, off, 2, 3, and then you go back to measure 1, so that. Pineapple. 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And that time you take the second ending. So that's how it goes. Have fun. Alright, so looking at Noel, I'm going over this is guitar 2, and I'm looking at measure 13. 13. So I call this B section, call that B section. So you have, remember this is free stroke, so it's 1, 1. I accidentally hit the G right there. That was a B. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1. 1. 1. And then it just repeats. So I'm going to start back all over. So remember 13 to 16, same thing. And it kind of repeats. So 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, here's 1. 1. 1. 1. Repeat 1. 1. 1. 1. And then once you get to measure 21, then you have quarter notes. And that's just a D minor chord, kind of like a D minor. So you guys can choose to play them at the same time. Like you can take 2 high notes and then the other person can take 2 low notes. But as long as you hear that, and then it's going to go to this next chord. Whoa, that's what it is. So it'll go, if you're playing both parts, you have 2, 3, 4, and. But this is funny chord. Again, you can do 2 top, 2 bottom, or split it up. So that one's easy. If you do C, G, somebody does that, and then somebody else can do, this is a, I was playing this low F because that's guitar 3. So somebody can take those 2, and somebody else takes these 2. But when you play those 4 notes together, and when you play guitar 3 with it, it's like a real dreamy chord. So I'll start from 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. Measure 21. Quarter notes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Here comes, and here's 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. can see the music, and 3, 4. All right. That was guitar 2. So have fun with that. All right, so we're looking at Jingle Bell Rock. This is the version that I wrote out for you guys. This one has a lot less notes, but they're notes that you should be working on, and they work still within the song when you play with the other guys. So the only new note that we have on there is the second measure, or you can think of it as the third note is a new note to you. So let's go through this from the beginning. The first note is a C. Remember, the C's in the second string, but it's on the first fret. The second note is a B, which is open. Take a finger off. And then you have the A, which is on the third string, but it's on the second fret. And I'm going to use my first finger, my middle finger. I could use my first finger, but I want to use my middle finger because it's easier. So those first 3 notes, they're half notes. You hold it for 2 beats. And so I'm going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. I'll try it again. Here's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then that fourth note is an E. It jumps up to the E, so it's a first string. Measure 2, measure 3, exactly the same. E, A, E, A, E. Measure 4 goes A to a higher note, which is on that line, which is F. Remember, F is over here, your second note that you actually learned. And then the next 2 measures are D's. Remember, D's are second string, third fret with your third finger. Now, if you're looking at this, measure 7, or the first line, the last measure, there's nothing written in there. There's maybe a box that's written in there. That means you don't play for 4 beats. Okay, so I'm going to play that first line, and you can follow along with me. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the whole thing. And to add one more measure, measure 8, you're going to go to A, D. So A is right there, second fret, third string. And then it goes to D, which is second string, third fret. So I'm going to do measure 1 to measure 8. 1, 2, ready, here's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and off. 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, pretty easy. I want you to continue working on the rest of it because measure 9 is the same as measure 1, measure 10 is the same thing as 2. If you look at that second line, it's almost the same as the first line. So work on that. It gets a little tricky. The only thing you have to do is really count and play. Count and play. When you get to measure 17, you have a dotted half note. Dotted half note's 3 beats. And then you play the next note. Okay, so I'm going to start at measure 15. Measure 15's four beats of nothing. So measure 15 here is 1, 2, 3. Here's 15. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold this for 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 4 beats. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Not too hard. So measure 7, measure 15, measure 24, and 32 all have measures of nothing. So that is pretty easy. I'm going to play this one time through and go ahead and use this as a practice tool. Okay, go back and work on little spots that you can and just kind of freeze it. Okay, so here it comes from the beginning. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, here's 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, then nothing. 1, 2, 3 right here, and 1, 2, measure 9, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then nothing. 1, 2, 3 right here, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4 E, 2, 3, 22. Here's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, then nothing. 1, 2, 3, open B. 1, 2, 3. Here's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Here's 30. Stay on it. Just hit the notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, and then it repeats. 1, 2, 1, 2. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Dun 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 dun. Then nothing. Bum 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 bum. A dun dun and dun 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 da 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 da. Bum 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 bum. Here's measure 15. Bum da 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 dun dun dun. And 2, 3. The right time. It's the right time. Whoops. Dun, 2, 3. Here's E. 2, 3. 22. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, and then off. 2, 3. Right here's 2 C. Here's 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to change a little bit at the end, but I'll discuss that more in class. All right. That should help you, get you going. All right.